not sure that Mainfreight's culture is about the current leadership. It's really about the people who started the company and the vision that they had early in the piece. But I've got 15 minutes to get across to you guys what's taken 32 years. And really, we've only just got started. To have a vision is one thing, but to achieve it is another. And a vision isn't a strategic plan, by the way, so throw away all the business books. Not much that Mainfreight has done built around the business book. However, to understand our vision, firstly, what is Mainfreight? Here in New Zealand, because of the brand and what we've got on the road, a lot of people think of us as a trucking company. Any analyst who comes to see us and wants to write up their report based around Mainfreight, the trucking company, doesn't get a second interview. We see ourselves as a global supply chain logistics provider, and the reality is trucking is only a very small part of what we do. We commenced business in 1978 with $7,000 in the pocket and a Bedford truck. Now, we've still got the truck, and we've got a little bit more than the $7,000. We began operating in Australia in 1989, and we publicly listed on the NZX in 96. Today we've got a market cap of about 650 million and 166 branches around the world: New Zealand, Australia, USA and Asia, and 3,250 people. So, what are our ambitions, or if you like, our vision? After a few wines on the plane, it's world domination of the freight industry. A few more rums and we own them all. Seriously, we've set ourselves some quite large BHUGs, which, if you don't know what a BHUG is, I suggest you go and find the book Good to Great, written by Jim Collins. A BHUG is a big, hairy, audacious goal. These goals we construct and share with our people, our shareholders, and because we write them in the annual report, they're likely seen by our competition. Perhaps some examples of that in this latest annual report. We said we'd have 300 branches by 2011, so that's only doubling what we already have now. We would have doubled our revenue from our 2006 result to get to 1.3 billion in 2011. It looks like we might get to 1.5 billion. 400 branches by 2012. To be the largest international freight forwarder in New Zealand and Australia by 2012. And what's got the market really excited was to have an excess of 2 billion in sales by 2015. Arrogant, pie in the sky stuff, maybe, but for us, we've got to get a line in the sand, and I think you've got to be ambitious about what you want to do with your business, and frankly, this country could probably do a few things a little better if the government was to put a few lines in the sand. Why do we think that we can achieve this? Well, frankly, we are an ambitious bunch of bastards, and we believe we can. We have a passion, and importantly, our people have that same passion. And I think the important thing is, if you're going to have a vision, then you've got to get that passion across to your people. So how do you get your people to buy into those goals? Well, for us, as Greg made the point, it's our culture, or if you like, the way we do things around here, the Mainfreight DNA. So that culture needs leadership, and for our part, I thought that I would share a little bit of that leadership stuff with you guys. Hopefully up on the screen here behind me, you can see what we call the 3 pillars of Mainfreight: culture, family and philosophy. I think what I draw your attention to is the simplicity in the words. There is no corporate bullshit in that. It's understood by all our people. Doesn't matter whether they're loading freight in Invercargill or cutting a bill of lading in Shanghai. They do understand it and they've bought into it. I think, I won't go through them all, but we always under-promise and over-deliver. To us, that's important. We have a 100-year philosophy, so the decisions we make are about being around for 100 years, not next year's profit. There is no staff in Mainfreight, and for that matter, we're all team, or we're part of the family. And after a red wine in New York with our black coats on, we can see ourselves as part of the mafia family. But importantly, as I heard a chief executive on the radio being interviewed about redundancies a year or so ago, there are no FTEs in Mainfreight, full-time employees. What a disgusting way to speak about your people. For us, our people, that is our product. We don't have any other products other than our service and the energy and passion of our people. So those are available if any one of you want to understand those a little more and take a copy away. I'll make sure that those are there for you. But the key thing is that all our people have bought into those things and they contributed to what they look like. So just to talk about some of them, we aspire to be a 100-year company. So that means we'll buy our premises. That doesn't mean we'll take short-term leases. Where possible, we'll buy our own property. We will invest in R&M. We will make sure we spend money, and we'll make decisions around being around for a long time. So it's not about just what's there for tomorrow or what's there for the next week. It's about a decision, and that includes how we treat our customers, how we treat our people. It's about being there for a long time. You know, we seek to delight our customers, and that doesn't mean, taking on the previous speaker's words, that we have to over-service them. We just want to delight them. And we have a quality focus and a measurement with very high standards, and we try and beat those standards every week. The key thing, and I hope you're getting this in the presentation, is that our people are key. So we will spend a lot of money and a lot of time training and developing our people, and that means that we promote from within. So you won't find us in the papers advertising for a branch manager, a salesperson, a senior manager, or for that matter, a managing director. I hope. The reality is, you start with us on the floor, and you handle the freight, and you learn the business from the floor up, and you have a career with us. And for that builds our culture and builds the understanding of the business. So if you're dealing with a Mainfreight person, you absolutely understand that they know the job. We share our profits. So 10% of the profit in the business in each branch is shared equally with everybody. There are KPIs in there that if they exceed the quality standards, we'll share a bit more with those that have actually made the mark. So there's a mixture of capitalism, and there's a mixture of, I suppose, a little bit of communism, where we mix the profit 10% equally across everybody. There is no bureaucracy, hierarchy, or superiority. There are no car parks with our names on them. We measure our profits weekly. There are no budgets, and there are no strategic plans. So every week, 166 branches on a Monday night ring in their profit or their loss. And importantly, whilst we find out about them, they understand what money they made the week prior. There is no cross-subsidisation in the business between the branches or the divisions, and we're only interested in long-term profit, which for us builds a business that will endure. So we have branch managers that can make short-term profit, easy profit available for them. We don't allow it. We're looking for long-term profit. And we're trying to reinvent ourselves, particularly when we've got a service provider like Genai giving us technology every second week. One of the important things when we got around the world was we needed to find a culture for each country. So it was all very well to have a Mainfreight New Zealand culture, and the disciplines and so forth are non-negotiable. But when we went to Aussie and said, this is the way we do it in New Zealand, they went, really? So that taught us a valuable lesson. And so therefore we've created a Mainfreight Aussie culture, a Mainfreight Asia culture, and a culture for the USA, because they're totally different again. And we think that we might have made it when we've got those nationals leading those businesses profitably and with growth and in their style. Just some quick points about leadership within the business. Leaders in today's world have got to have an ego for the business and not for themselves. They've got to have a passion for the business, but it's not about promoting themselves. And you've got to have the right people on the bus. And you've got to have those people in the right seats. And if they're not the right people, you've got to get them off the bus pretty quickly, preferably before the next stop. People must be allowed to grow. So in Mainfreight, you're allowed to assume as much responsibility as you want. You can make as many decisions as you want, and if you make a mistake, just don't make the same mistake the second time round. But it is about giving people as much responsibility as possible. We promote from within, and we make sure that we keep refreshing our opinions and our thoughts. I'm sure here in this room, there's plenty of it, but we would rather have EQ in our people, some emotional intelligence, rather than IQ. Because that EQ is valuable in terms of leadership, in terms of understanding what's going on with your people. And of course, as long as you've got people with egos for the business, you can train successors. Those that have an ego for themselves don't naturally train their successor. We must have an aspiration to be bigger and better, and of course to have aspirations for not just the business, but for the community and for the environment. That's why Mainfreight looks after about 45 books and home schools here in New Zealand, have started it in the USA, and have also started it in Australia. And in the initial days, we thought that we might only be able to look after 5 schools. There is no bureaucracy and corporatisation. It just slows you down. Therefore, all our offices are open plan. There are no hierarchical structures, and we never use the word head office, corporate office, or headquarters. We sit at the branch where we make the most money so we can smell the diesel. We're in the mode of ready, fire, aim. So we're ready, we fire the bullet, and we'll shape it up as it goes down the street. We never ever live in a question mark. It's yes or no. It's never maybe. And one important thing which we think works for us is that we never ever employ a consultant, because of course those are the people that come down out of the hills to kill the wounded after the war is finished. Be careful of the success that you have. We call it the wallpaper of success, and it's about MBWA. To find behind the wallpaper where the success is where the cracks are. Management by walking around will be your biggest asset. And of course, we have a commitment to win, and as one Tāna Umanga has said, it ain't tiddlywinks, mate, we're here to win. So just to close, it's our experience that you can't keep your good people unless you have growth. And just get on and do what you do best, and do it better than the others. Do not live in a question mark, either as a company or as individuals. So make those decisions, search for your destiny, put the line in the sand, and get on with it. Thank you very much.